So we have some speakers, and we have one or two pieces of poetry and some more music as we go through what will take about an hour from now. This event didn't start of its own and doesn't happen on its own. There's a lot of people put a lot of work into it every year. I just turn up and talk, which is part of what I'm supposed to do, and a pleasure and an honor every year. But I want to introduce to you now, I call her the founder of it. She hates me saying that, but she was the one who drove us all to do this a number of years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Carmel Cantwell.
First one. Hello everyone. On behalf of myself, Christy and Martin, you're very welcome. Thank you to PJ for being our MC, and thank you to Jimmy and Oliver for providing the music, and girls, sorry, I don't know your name. And to our guest speakers, Dr. James Gallen, to Deirdre and Mary Jo, we are honoured to have you here, and welcome to Daniel, who will tell us all about the project he's working on. Our good friend Tom will be speaking about Know My Own adoption support group, which is celebrating 20 years of helping and supporting people. For those of you that don't know my name, I am Carmel Cantwell, and I'm an advocate for my mother and brother. My mother was here in Bessborough in 1960, and although my brother was born a healthy baby, he became poorly at 3 days old. My mother pleaded for her baby to see a doctor, but was refused. It took the midwife another 16 days before she arranged for her baby to go to hospital. We believe that this delay ultimately contributed to his death at 6 weeks old. When my mother returned in 1994 for answers, she was initially told that baby William was buried here in the graveyard. As time went by, we became suspicious, as this information, as we doubted that hundreds of children could be buried here, and the Commission of Investigation's 5th interim report, we got the information that my brother was buried in Cars Hill Cemetery, infamous for being a famine graveyard of 30,000 people. Where on this 5.5 acre site, we don't know where William is buried. There is no markers at all for anybody. So in recent years, I've been campaigning with others to investigate this area to determine if women and children that died in Bessborough are buried here on the grounds. There is mapping evidence that the children's burial ground was here prior to 1950. The congregation started to use the graveyard in 1956. However, there are many questions still unanswered, like, if there was a functioning graveyard here, why did a man as a child come across an open grave of 3 to 4 babies on the opposite side of the grounds? If this is a children's graveyard, how many are here? What determines a graveyard? 5 children, 50 children or more? This graveyard is tiny, and according to an archaeologist, a great deal of it is empty. 859 children are missing, and 12 women. At least 700 of them could potentially be buried somewhere on the grounds. The others could be buried in various sites around Cork. This last year, we have asked many times for Roderick O'Gorman to appoint a Director of Authorised Intervention to establish if indeed there is a children's graveyard here. We have repeatedly asked the government to investigate what happened to the children, to find out where they're buried, and after a thorough investigation, and in the absence of any graves found, to preserve the remaining grounds in their memory, as well as the nearly 19,000 women and children who were incarcerated here and separated. This would make a great park for the community, but at the moment there are 3 live planning applications for housing developments. Together with Daniel Loftus, we have created a petition to save Bessborough. You can see it on the wall round the corner. If you could please sign it, it would be really nice. We will be listening to many aspects relating to the subject of mother and baby institutions and Bessborough today, but we must never forget that today is all about remembering all the women and children that died. We would also like to remember Caroline Donovan, Derek Leinster and Tony Kelly, who passed away this year and fought so hard for justice. With that in mind, can we please have a minute's silence in their memory? Thank you. Thank you.